Good morning. I wanted to take you on a tour of a little piece that I did a few months ago. It is called Andre, and Andre is modeled specifically after Michelangelo's drawing of a young man called Andre. It was inspired and suggested actually by a friend, and I had always loved the drawing and everything and really had not thought about the idea of it being in a sculptural form. Well, you know, Michelangelo is a sculptor of the first renown, so I thought it would be kind of nice to do this. Now, this piece is not fashioned in the sense that it should be in the bronze medium, because Michelangelo did not do that. The piece is designed to look somewhat like a stone work, but of course it's modeled. I would like to show you some of the textural qualities of it. I had said before in one of my other videos that the rake tools are used for honing the surfaces and planing them to get even surface contours. And in this case, I did use the rake tool as a finish to create a certain quality to the piece and flow. The face is very refined, and I'm going to rotate this piece a little bit so you can see it from all angles. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be making a mold on it here this coming week, another piece that needs to be molded, so that it can be reproduced in two different media, cast stone and in bronze eventually. So let me give you a little tour. You can see the contrast of the smoothness of the face to the other areas of texture that I've used. This gives your focus, a visual focus, in on the face itself. And then the rest of it's kind of like eye candy anyway. It all is about creating a framework for the face, contrast and flow, giving the fabric a different sensibility. The reason why I'm going ahead and making a mold of it, I didn't do it right away because it wasn't necessary. I had other things going on, but I'm developing a few cracks in the oil-based clay. Now, the oil-based clay sets long enough, it will crack like this. So it's important. I will fix that crack. That means that the clay is drying out. The oil is exiting the clay little by little. So I'm going to fix this little spot right there and match the texture up there on the hat and get a mold made before any more damage occurs in the piece. It is a life-size bust. I used, again, the head measurements, which I've referred to in my written material. And on the figure, which I've talked only that is what I do, but I'd like to tell you a little bit. Let's wait for the siren to go by. Ah, gone. He stopped here. Anyway, what happens when you use the canon of the head in the human figure is one area when you're doing, well, exclusively the bust or doing a full figure. But the canon is the head measurement, and when you can take that head measurement and you can measure from the center of the body and where my hand is, let's say that is the measurement of the head, the length of my outstretched hand. I'll go to the center of the body, and this is where the actual shoulder is. Do the same on the other side. This is actually where the shoulder is. Okay, that gives you that measurement. So one head to the chest line, and you continue on down in the full figure. In this case, we have a head across here on either side. You get those anatomy areas correct and built out like that. Then when the clothes are added, they flow and fit the form as we would naturally see it, anybody walking by. If you do not do the under form, the structure, the bones, knowing where the bony landmarks are, and you do not do the anatomy or the correct placement of muscle forms, you will not get the fabric or the clothing that is on the person to hang correctly. There will always be something not quite right. So you do model the figure in the nude. It can be a rough modeling if you're going to cover it, but it still has to be correct. So there he is. I have some other measurements that are used that are common to artists and working with the figure, is that the face is broken up into thirds, and the third that we use is the nose, from the tip of the nose to the brow. And you take that measurement and you measure down to the chin, and then you measure from the brow, and in there, in that measurement up there, is where the hairline or the forehead ends. So that's that measurement. Another one they use is the eye width. There is one eye width, the corner of this eye to the corner of the outside of the eye. From that corner to this corner, there is an eye width between. The nose and the ear are the same length. Generally, you get older, the ear changes a little bit. And the nose seems to change a little bit, but still, that is a good canon of measurement when you're making up a face. And the ear is in line with the nose. You run your lines around the form back here, and the top of the ear and the bottom of the ear is the length of the nose and in line with the nose. The depth of the head from here to the back of the cranium is 7/8 of a head. The width of the head from the zygomatic arch is 3/4 of a head. So these measurements, when known and when you follow them, you can find them in any book, almost any good anatomy book, artistic anatomy book. You're going to find the canon. This will help you make up a face if you wish to. You don't have to copy from someone or, look at someone's face that uses your guide. But you can make up a face based on these canon measurements. It's a half a head from the bottom of the chin when the head is held forward and correctly to the sternal notch down here. And so that's a half a head. The clavicle comes off at that point across. The clavicle under here, which is the, I don't know its common name, I only know it by clavicle. Anyway, this is 3/4 of a head. This is 3/4 of a head. So we have some measurements that are quite helpful in the finish of the figure. So on the bust, that's about all the further we can go with the measurements. The scapula back here, when I was laying that area in to create this rise in here, and then you have the dip back to the center of the back, is also 3/4 of the head. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. This piece, like I said, will now be prepared for the mold making process. And hopefully you may see him in another medium soon. So thank you much. Bye.